There's a perfect teacher and a tuned-up student. I wouldn't say he's perfect, but he has tried his best. They both have come face to face, and by the attitude of the student, he creates a harmony between the mind of the teacher and himself, which is necessary in order to get the spiritual message of the Upanishads. No doubt the teacher is speaking. He's speaking words which we hear by our ears. So the explanations and expositions come from the face or the mouth of the teacher to our ears. But words can never explain the great truth. But the words are the means by which our mind gets attuned with the teacher, and the actual communication is from the heart of the teacher to the heart of the student. The words are only a shamiana. And the actual transaction is in a marriage between the heart of the teacher and the heart of the student. Hence the importance of teacher. Thus the attitude of what should be the attitude of the student towards the teacher has been dramatized, and the student surrendered with his questions. He should ask about the Atman, the self which is to be understood from the teacher, and katham tareyam bhavasindhu metam. Either this bhavasindhu, this ocean of change, in which at this moment I am going up and down, bumping up and down. How am I to cross over it? Kava me gati. What will be my lot if I am not able to come out? Perpetually in this self-exhausting, self-destructive way of living in sense pleasures. Katamostupaya. There seems many methods prescribed in our scriptures, as well as I've heard from the various masters. Katamaha. Of them, which is the most suitable for me. I dare not make a wrong judgment, because if I start a path and after some time I find that that is not the right way, the right path for me, it will be a waste of time. Katamostupaya. Now when the question was, of the many methods, which is the right path for me to follow, the teacher should not understand that I know everything. Jane na kinchit. I know almost nothing. You consider me as an elementary student. Because what I learned is only from books, libraries. But from your mouth when these ideas come, it has a greater and more powerful influence. Kripaya mam Prabho. Oh Prabho, Master, you please teach me Kripaya. Don't teach me just by saying that, no, that has already been explained. No. If necessary, 100th time you may have to explain. Don't get angry because of my dullness, my incapacity to perceive the truth immediately. Have compassion for my third-rate mental and intellectual integration. Kripayavam pradho samsara dukkha chadimadhanush. Please explain to me how samsara dukkha, the sorrow of samsara, can be reduced or eliminated. Now therefore the teacher starts explaining Tatha vadantam.
Tatha vadantam sharanagatam tvam. Sharanagatam swam samsara davanalataapataptam. Nirikshya karunya rasardra drishtya. Dadyadabhitim sahasa mahatma.
We did already tell you that this book appears or is conceived as the spiritual constitution. Since it is a constitutional book, it must prescribe not only the qualities of the student, but also the qualities of the teacher. Not only the duties of the student, that how he must surrender himself, but also the duties of the Guru. Because it's a constitution. Here is the instruction, how the teacher should react when a fit student approaches him. Tatha vadantam, asking these questions. A student who is coming to you with asking these questions, sharanagatam swam, and he who has surrendered himself at the feet of the teacher. Not sending the question by hand. Because somebody from your city or town is coming to Siddhavari and Swamiji, dear Swamiji, please explain. No. Sharanagatam swam. This is not a thing that can be communicated through correspondence or by phone. You yourself, swam, apne aap, you yourself must approach and surrender to the teacher. Samsara davanala tapataptam. It must be an individual who is experiencing that in the forest fire of plurality, the world of change, he is taptam, he is roasted, and therefore a sense of urgency in him. Such an individual, when he approaches the teacher and surrenders himself to him, demanding those 4 questions, answer to those 4 questions. To such a student, nirikshya karunya rasadra drishtya. Think, don't merely say that, oh, don't worry about it. The boy is restless. He is burning. But with one kind, compassionate look. Because words will take time to express and to be heard by him and understood by him. But one look, Didyad abhidim. Give him abhidi, fearlessness. Don't be afraid. The situation is bad. Because you are already being burnt in that and you are unhappy about it. And there seems to be so many paths, and which path I have to go, you don't know. You don't know the goal, you don't know the path to be chosen. There are many paths. Don't worry. And that don't worry is not by words, by a mere look. Niriksha karunya rasadra drishtya. With a look soaked in karunya, compassion, didyad abhidim, console him, remove all his fears. He must have the confidence now that I have reached the right teacher, and he has undertaken, not by words, but by a mere look, he has undertaken to guide me, lead me in the path. Sahasa Mahatma. Now this Mahatma cannot say that, come day after tomorrow. He is already being burnt. House is on fire. Please help me. All right, day after tomorrow. Today now I am busy. By day after tomorrow the house is burnt out. Similarly, here is a man who is in the fire of, forest fire of impatience. He is suffering. By a look, you console him. Remove all his fears, hopelessness from his mind. And that too, sahasa, immediately. Maybe the boy is coming there at midnight. Right? Really, the old teacher is sleeping. According to the constitution, spiritual constitution, it is the duty of the teacher immediately to give him consolation. Abhidim sahasa Mahatma. Mahatma shall give. Didyad shall give. It is an imperative obligation. The teacher has no excuse to say no. Immediately give him the solace and comfort of self-confidence in the student.
Vidvan satasma upasatti miyushe. Upasatti miyushe. Mumukshave sadhu yathokta karine. Mumukshave sadhu yathokta karine. Prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya. Prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya. Tattvopadesham kripayaiva kuryat. Tattvopadesham kripayaiva kuryat.
Continue, the constitution prescribes the teacher's responsibility. Immediately give him consolation. Compassionate, with a compassionate look. Thereafter, Vidwan satasmat, that Vidwan, that wise student, intelligent student, who has approached him mumukshave, because of his burning aspiration to realize the higher. Sadhu, sadhu, he who is calm and serene in himself. Yedhukta karine, one who is karina, one who is doing what has been yedhukta as advised. Yedhukta karine, one who is implicit in obedience. Let me have that. Yes, Saji. By evening I will bring it. Now that yedhukta karine, jump into the ocean. Oh, jump into the ocean. Padmapada, come here. And you come. Whether there is a water or not, it doesn't matter. Yedhukta karine. Now, commentators are commented as a little more softer, don't make a student run away from there. So, yedhuktam as prescribed in the Upanishads, karinaha. One who is living the way of life prescribed by the great rishis in the Upanishads. Yedhukta karina artha. The meaning is true. But really speaking, that is not it. What the teacher said, you must be able to immediately do it. Why? In the long run or the higher states, tattvamasi, when you say, hoga? No. You must be trained. Implicit obedience, implicit obedience. For what? Not for the comfort of the teacher. It becomes a second nature with you. And so that when he is in the higher states of it, and you are a mere Sakshi now, and this Sakshi is only because of the object, drop it! I will try. Useless. Drop it, you must be able to drop it. The great Rishi comes, the master comes and to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa who is worshipping. Are you seeing the Devi? Yes, very clearly, sir. Has she got the sword? Yes, sir. Take the sword from her. Took, sir. Cut her into pieces. Said the Guru. He is a Parama Bhakta. But Yathoktakarini, he cut her into pieces. The form is gone. He merged with that pure self and he sat in Samadhi for 3.5 days. If you say, cut, kya Guru, mera bhakta, I am a devotee. If you start arguing with him, ye thuktakari. Thuktakari, and to such a Sunjuya, Prashanta Chittaya, whose chitta mind is Prashanta. Why? He has practiced fully Shama and Dhamma. And therefore his mind is neither being pushed out by his own desires for sense gratification, nor the sense objects come into his mind to disturb him. The mind has become Prashanta Chittaya, Shamanvidaya, who has got Shama, Dhamma, etc. All the 6 qualities, he who has got it. Tattvopadesham, to such a student only, you explain the Atman, the self. To others, what is wrong? Nothing wrong. Among many informations, this information also, oh, I see, Paramatma also is there. It doesn't help you at all. It doesn't unfold. Tattvopadesham, kripayaiva guriyat. And when that tattvopadesham, when you are doing, it is subtle. It is not easy for anybody to immediately grasp it. It is not an objective thing. It is a subjective essence. And therefore, kripayaiva guriyat. Do it with extreme kindness. Repeat it for the 20,000th at that time. Shamelessly repeat. Don't jump at them saying that 100 times I have told you, you have not understood, you don't listen. But what listen? Mind is good. And you go to terrible. Just as you explain things to a child, 100th time your own son, you may now and then get tired. So that you are exactly like your mother. And then say, beta, sunu. Again explain to him. In the same way, kripayaiva guriyad. Expose the child slowly and steadily, with great compassion and understanding, or the natural weaknesses of an ordinary man in grasping these subtle, gracious truth about himself. Kripayaiva guriyad. Again, guriyad, you shall do. He must console the man, must. Then thereafter, if you find that the student is fit, he has got that quietude of the mind, he has weaned himself away, his mind away from the enchantments of the world of sensuality. He has become to an extent the introvert. His mind is not running extrovert. In that case, if he is yathoktakarinah, he has complete obedience to pursue the path that the teacher is indicating. To him, kripayaiva, with extreme compassion, describe the pure spiritual truth of the Upanishads.
Sri Gururuvacha Ma bhaishta vidvam stavanastyapayah Samsara sindho staranestyupayah Yenaiva yata yatayosya param Tameva margam tava nirdishami
So, but first by a look, consoling him. Don't worry. By a compassionate look. The boy must feel that, there is the master, who is more than my father and mother. I can surrender to him with full confidence. At that sort of look, you people will have to learn how to look that way. Because you have trained in the competitive world to look that I will murder you, I will kill you. You have to learn how to look at the student with all love, sincere love. Anyway, not only a look, because many of the stupid students will not see the look, because he will not even look at the face of the teacher. He is measuring the length of his beard. He has got hair and this, all that sort of thing. His mind is agitated. The ashram. Will I be comfortable here? So he will not see that. Therefore, the teacher should verbalize. Ma bhaishta vidvan, O wise man, O intelligent boy, ma bhaishta, fear not. Tava nasti apaya. There is no apaya, no great tragedy for you. Because he came with a great tragedy. How will I cross this world? Don't worry, guaranteed. I guarantee your success. Ma bhaishta vidvan. O wise man, don't despair at all. Oh, but Swamiji, in the past I have done those sins. Don't worry, I will swallow all your sins. Ma bhaishta vidvan. Tava nasti apaya. There is no fear and no tragic crisis or calamity in your life. Samsara sindho. Out of this ocean of samsara, plurality. Samsara is a very powerful and meaningful word. Samsarati iti samsara. Samsarati means coming and going. Nothing is permanent. Everything comes and goes next moment. Like every bucket of water in the river comes and it doesn't stop there, goes. And the other bucket has again come. Similarly, every thought is passing, every experience is passing, every object in the world outside is constantly and steadily changing and changing every moment. Therefore, nothing is permanent. It comes, goes, and comes, goes, like time itself. This particular second, I cannot live second time. It is something like, I cannot take bath in the same bucket of water in the same river. Gallons of water is coming from the upper river, dashes against you. You are at that moment in contact with it, but the next moment, that water has already become downriver. Similarly, time. 1 hour, 1 minute, that minute gone, gone forever. You cannot get it back. This world of change, therefore, is called as samsara. Samsarati iti samsara. It's a state where everything is constantly changing. samsara sindhu. And you are in that changing world, which is as it were an ocean, shoreless. By your own effort you cannot come out of it. Wherever you turn, you are in Pacific Ocean if you have fallen there. You can't say that I am a swimmer and I will swim it. You cannot. Similarly, this world of plurality, which you experience through your body, mind and intellect, wherever you look, right or left or east or west or north or south, now or there, hereafter, wherever and whenever you look at it, you are again in the plurality. From this ocean of change, samsara sindho taranatyupaya, there is a secret method you can cross over. Don't worry. Hey, at this moment in your intellectual calculation, you may think that this is impossible. This is my nature. I cannot get out of it. There is a secret method. Stop all your worries and anxieties. Tavanasthapaya, there is no tragedy in your life. No disappointment will come to you. Why? There is a secret method by which from this endless experience of change, you can cross over and come to experience the changeless, the immutable. The moment the teacher said that, though the student has come in utter despair, he is an Aryan child, and an Aryan child in India will not accept any individual statement, however long his beard be. You can't bluff through. The Indian students doesn't want a new technique which a teacher wants to work out. So the students become then guinea pigs to experiment. And each student feels that my life is only one life and I don't want to become material for experience, experiment for the teachers. So no new technique I will accept. So the student looked at the teacher. Are you trying to prescribe to me a special, secret path that you have divinized? He will accept only the old, experienced path by which others have reached the goal. So the teacher immediately says, Sonny, my words may not be strong enough. Maybe it has given you a wrong impression that I am going to give you some personal, private, secret method, technology that I have conceived. No. Yaneva yata yatayosya param. All the yatis in the past, those who are striving, yatna karne wala yati, those who have put forth their effort in order to wean away their attention from the outer world and continuously contemplate and realize the truth. Such yatis, yeneva, by that path by which they reach there, that same grand trunk road. I am not asking you a diversion, a quick road. You come with me, I will take you quickly. Yenaiva yata yatayosya param. Asya param. From this world of plurality, those who have transcended, gone beyond the change to the changeless and the permanent. Teneva tameva margam, that very same path. Tava nirdishami, I shall indicate to you that very same path. Not the path that is newly cut, but a good old path, which has been trodden by the various masters for millions of years in our past history, and has successfully reached the highest, that very same path I shall now explain to you.
अस्त्युपायो महान् कश्चित्
Astyupayo mahan kaschid
संसारभयनाशनः
samsara bhayanashanah
तेन तीर्त्वा भवाम्भोधिम् परमानन्दमाप्स्यसि.
The student is very much disturbed in his mind. The teacher knows it. And that is why it is called that he must advise the student with great karuna, the great compassion. So the teacher always is behind your mind or watching your mind. He is not talking to dolls. He is not talking to an audience with his eyes closed. He is talking to you, not talking at you. Ordinary lecturers, they are talking at you. Either a paper, all that you see is his bald head moving. That is all that you see. No. He is looking into your eyes and he is talking to you and not shooting his words at you. So at the end of the talk, the whole audience is dead. No, he's talking to you. So that the teacher understood, oh yes, the boy has come in that mental perturbance. And in that perturbance, when he hears, he may not have grasped what I said. That there is a path by which you can go, and I am going to explain to you that is the very same road by which, the Grand Trunk Road by which all the great masters of yore have crossed over this plurality and reached the pure state of self. That very same path. Then teacher looks at him. The student is in his own worry and anxiety. So then he repeats the same idea. In other words, asti upaya, there is a method. An upaya, a means, a secret means. Mahan kaschit mahan path. There is a great means, there is an upaya, it is available, samsara bhayanashana, by which the samsara bhaya, the fear that is arising in you because of the plurality and the realm of change, can be ended, destroyed. There is a path. Ye tena tirtva bhavam bodhim, by which, applying by which, you can cross over the bhava ambudhi, this ocean of change, ocean of birth and death. Birth and death doesn't mean that maternal ward and the burial ground, not that. Birth and death, every moment is born, gone, born, gone. In your thoughts, every thought is born, next moment dead. Your body itself changing. Everything changing. The change is called birth and death. So don't say that the Christians are not believing in rebirth and Muslims are not believing in rebirth. What am I to do? Unfortunate that their prophets did not explain it. Thereby don't condemn that the rishis have explained it. There must be reasons why the other prophets did not explain. It is the only intelligent way we can see why they did not say something is only because of that type of students they addressed. The fishermen of Galilee, are not intelligent people to ask you 100 questions. Then after death, what happens? They can't even ask that question. Therefore, tell them that after death, if you are a good man, you will go to heaven. If you are a bad man, to hell for all times. Full stop. Don't ask any question. Do live good life. You will be all right. Na kalyanagar kischit durgadim tadagachati. Sani, a kalyanakrit, one who is doing good work, will never come to any sorrow, any suffering. But this is the universal law. They just explain that. And now the third-rate, uneducated, stupid padris come about and say that we don't believe in rebirth. We believe that death is zero. Death is zero. Then how do you go to the angels and live in heaven? You will live or somebody else live. So there is life after death. All that you are saying, he will never come to the human beings. See? That chain of argument, the average man cannot understand, therefore he did not take it. But then in India, the rishis were faced with the highest intellects, the blue of intellectuals. So they will not keep quiet. So what? Okay, then died. Then what? You have to explain. Explain so logically that they can understand it. You can't show him that there is life after death by practical method, because the local police will not allow you. All is so easy. You will be convinced the next moment. Kill you and say, now understood, understood. But that is not allowed. The teacher cannot say that I was doing an experiment to serve the disciples. All of them have got this difficulty, and therefore I said, now close your eyes and I shoot. And ask the whole crowd, are you satisfied? Even then there will be a one or two who never got a bullet, they will get up and say, I have not experienced. It is not necessary. You see? So this is logical. That is why human beings need not go through every experience. He can watch it, analyze it, and through logical thinking can come to understand things which he cannot immediately see personally. Now therefore, tena tirtva bhavam bodhim, by which you can cross over this shoreless ocean of change, paramanandam apsyasi, and you shall reach, experience that state, which in terms of your experience can only say that it is parama ananda, total happiness. And that state is called, do you know in English? What do you say that the highest bliss? Beatitude, isn't it? Beatitude. Take a pen and hyphen it. Be attitude. Beatitude. The attitude of just being be. Be what? Be yourself. Pure Sat. Be attitude. Beatitude. They made a word, beatitude, rightly did. Whoever created that word has created it correctly. But then you repeat, that state of beatitude. So beatitude means angels will be all around, and the champagne was in your hand, and then you enjoy beatitude. See that? This is not, it beatitude. The attitude of just being, be. Just be. Not be a human being, Be happy, be unhappy. No, just be. Never mind. So that Paramanandam apsyasi, you can reach that supreme bliss.
Vedantartha vicharena
Vedantārtha vicārena
jayate jnanamuttamam tenatyantika samsara dukkha nasho bhavatyanu.
Vedanta Artha Vicārena. The Vedic textbooks are 4 in number. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda. In all these Veda textbooks, the last few pages are the mysticism of Hinduism in the form of the Upanishads given out by the great rishis. So the Upanishads are otherwise called as Vedaka Anda, the end of Vedic textbooks, the literature that is found in the end of the Vedic textbooks are called Vedanta, meaning the Upanishads. And the philosophy enshrined in them is also called Vedanta philosophy. Philosophy enshrined in the Upanishads, which is found in the end of the Vedas, Vedanta philosophy. Now these declarations of the Upanishads are with the barest minimum words. They are called mantras. They are not called a shloka or a verse or a stanza. They are called mantras of the Upanishads. Mantra meaning mananad trayate iti mantra. That word or words, when you do manana, reflect in your mind the significance of it again and again, you feel uplifted. Mananad trayate iti mantra. All Upanishadic statements are not like newspaper writing, but they are all chosen words and in a chosen way arranged and carrying deep significances within the smallest span of statement. When these Mahavakyas or words, mantras, when you reflect again and again the significance of it, you feel uplifted. So Vedanta, Artha Vicārena. By rotating in your mind the deep, significant meaning of these simple words of the Upanishads, the scriptures, jayate, something is born in you. What? Jnanamuttamam. Whenever you reflect of anything, you come to know about it, knowledge. Now when you contemplate upon the significance of the Upanishadic statements, a knowledge and understanding comes in your mind, and that knowledge is uttama knowledge, great knowledge, man-making knowledge, God-creating knowledge. Why? Because with that knowledge is never changing. When you study economics or politics or science in the world, that also gives you knowledge. But that knowledge that you gain in science, politics, economics, are changeable from time to time, isn't it? All the libraries of books on communism now can be burned in some winter for general heat. Millions and millions of books are written there. That was an experiment, false, and therefore they have rejected it, except in India. Because that political party has got no other platform and therefore they are holding on to it. All over the world it has been removed. It's a failure, a political theory. Carefully think. In the same way, science. Even Newton's law, which seems to be a godly law, has been rejected now. Einstein's theory is being questioned because certain items or data he has not included in his consideration. Every scientific conclusion, knowledge, maximum 20 years, 25 years, by the time it changes, because by the time new data is available, in the light of the new data, the old conclusions are to be changed. All other knowledges are changeable, variable, but this knowledge, it is the direct experience of the self in you. Uttama knowledge, a knowledge that having gained never ends. It is permanent, eternal, immutable. Vedantartha vicharena jayate is born. Jnanam as any other. When you continuously study and give your thought to it, you develop that knowledge. But this is a peculiar knowledge, unending, permanent. Jnanam uttamam. Tena, by that knowledge, atyandika, total, complete, samsara dukkha nasha. This experience of the sorrow and imperfections that you experience today, due to the perception of the pluralistic world around, completely ends. All the fear, disappointments, rejections, despairs, desires, passion, all end. Bhavatyanu. The moment you got that knowledge, instantaneously, all these visions that you are of the plurality, and identified with the plurality, you yourself suffered and being persecuted by the outer world. All these ends. Something like in the dream. The dreamer is suffering. But the moment he wakes up, at that very moment, he need not lift even his little finger to do anything. That entire world of confused world of plurality, wiped out. Why? You gain the knowledge that I am the waker and not the dreamer. To the dreamer, the dream is real. The moment the dreamer wakes up in a different plane of consciousness, the world is so frightening, dreadful, pain-ridden, and the world disappears. It is not removed one by one. No remedy is sought. The whole world is wiped out because they have no reality. From the waker's standpoint, it is not there. In the same way, when you contemplate upon the deep significances of these rich and precious statements of the Upanishads, you awake from your egocentric, pluralistic world of dream into a new awakening, a new dimension of consciousness, where immediately, bhavatyanu, all sorrows end. The plurality is no more available. The plurality can be experienced only by the ego. From the ego state of consciousness, when you wake up to the pure state of consciousness, the sorrows that you were provided to you by the pluralistic world is all wiped out. You come to directly experience that infinite bliss and peace of that higher state. There we stop. How am I to reach, Swamiji? How is it that possible? How to wake up into that higher state of consciousness? 100 doubts will come. The teacher explains how it can be reached. Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga